Hello and welcome to South Sligo Talks, a community-based podcast bringing you local news and stories from the heart of South Sligo on Cree Podcast Studios here in Tubbercurry. I'm Richard McCarthy, and on this week we'll be talking about the biggest event of the year, the Tubbercurry Old Fair Day Festival. Joining me today to talk about the festival is Tony O'Brien and Paul Walsh. Welcome, lads. Okay, so I suppose we'll go straight into it, guys. So in case there's anyone watching who doesn't know, what is the Old Fair Day Festival?
Well, I suppose, Richard, the Old Fair Day Festival goes back to 1985 when it was revived by a couple of local businessmen. The Old Fair Day was held every second Wednesday of August back in the 1800s. Mm-hmm. And a couple of business people got together and they decided, you know what, Tubbercurry needs something. Everyone had parades and they had this. Tubbercurry didn't have, so I suppose they wanted to start something. Yeah. So they decided they'd hold the date, second Wednesday of August, and they got the support of the local businesses. Mrs. Cologne at the time got involved, and so you had Eddie Walsh, Jackie Coogan, and a few, and started in humble beginnings, and every year since it has grown. And it's grown into one of the biggest festivals of its kind in the country. Yeah, it's probably unique because it's set within the confines of a town. Yeah, a lot of these shows are in show fields now and in big fields, and you know they can cater for large capacities, but you don't get the unique feeling of an old fair, which was, I suppose, historically set in a square. In a town where the jobbers came in, they traded their cattle and their goods and whatnot. So it is unique in that way. Yeah. So
and you'd see that kind of every year as well. You'd see kind of all the cattle are still in the square as such. You know, there'd be the pens and everything still in the square for even like for last year and this year. Like you'd always see them there anyway. So the remnants of the Old Fair Day has always been there, and it's kind of the core of it, I suppose.
Well, it is, and that's what we over the years and every committee we come in and we try and build on it. Heritage and craft is very important for the fair. That's what keeps people coming back. They want to see what's there. Yeah. There's people who's coming, bringing their grandkids, and they're looking at them and saying, "This is what we used to do. This is exactly. Come here and we'll show you." You know what I mean? It's not on an iPad. It's not a thing. This is the way butter was made. This is the way baskets were made. Fiddle maker. You know what I mean? You have every craft you can think of, and they're there. I mean, these crafts are hard to come by now. That's probably our biggest thing is getting the craft people holding on to them.
Yeah, coming back every year.
Yeah, and making sure that their skills are passed on to the next generation, because if it's not, it's going to die. Like, I mean, so I'm involved, I suppose, in this about 17, 18 years. When I got involved, one of my goals was at the time was to build on the heritage and craft. That's what it is. When there was plenty of stalls, I mean, they were all selling toys and exactly. You know what I mean, and tools and stuff, and you can get them anywhere, but you can't get, you know what I mean, quality of heritage and craft. And I suppose we started from there and built it, and it's up now, and like, I mean, all around the square in Tubbercurry, and that's where you want to be, is heritage, vintage, craft. People showing their wares, and the rest of the town then is for the other traders to you know what I mean. So there's room for everyone, but most important, and that's what brings families in, is to see bygone days of the trasher, exactly, the old lathes, you know what I mean, the basket makers, as I say, the butter makers, all that trades. That's what they want to see, and they spend hours going round and round.
And that's it. Like it's vital that it is in the centre of the square, because you have the space. You have that kind of, you know, when you're walking down through the stalls, it can get quite busy and stuff. Whereas there's always space around the heritage area where you've got time, and it kind of slows down a little bit. Yeah, you've got time to actually watch them doing the crafts, and even like the kids, they love the animals and stuff like that. They'd be kind of watching kind of all the different types of animals and stuff that be there and all that. And on the other side, then you have kind of all the crafts that are like they've probably never seen in their lives, you know, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? And look, I mean, the animals, we don't have massive areas for animals, so we pick and choose, you know what I mean, your basics. Like, I mean, now this year we have longhorn cattle coming in, and that'll be spectacular, because seen them in Ballina a few years ago, and they're lovely animals. They're big, they're quiet. Like, I mean, the kids would go mad for them. You know what I mean?
And it's not something they've seen, like, so it'd be kind of
absolutely. Yeah. So every year, like, I mean, and Tony the last 2 years is trying to, you know, put his stamp and create bring something new every year that hasn't been there before.
Yeah.
That was harder. It's getting harder because we're losing one and then you gain another. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. But you have to try and keep it alive and keep it relevant. Really. You know what I mean? And what people want. You know.
I think that's the big thing is every year there is something different every year. It's not the same thing every year over and over again. There is a change. You see the subtle changes every year. You know, and it's getting bigger and better, and you see the crowds getting bigger and better. So it's great to see, you know.
Yeah, like I mean, I suppose from the lads that started back in '85, like I mean, and probably an NCF truck pulled across the street, and a couple of local musicians on it. I think Colin O'Donnell was one of the first to play on the, you know what I mean, and the very first one back in the day. And don't know what the weather was like. It was probably wet, but. You know, for them to have the vision to start it, to pass it on. As I said before, we're only caretakers of this festival. Good committee. Every 2 years, 3 years, we churn it around, and a new chairman comes in. And as I say, they had great vision to start it, and we're only custodians of it, and hopefully we'll just keep passing it on.
And you were talking about kind of the people that started off, like Jackie and Jackie Hoogan and all them, you know, kind of, they would have kind of been in it for a long time as well, and they would have put their kind of stamp on it as well.
Yeah, and Porricknary, and you know what I mean, and like I mean, and Garage was, you know what I mean, to the forefront as well, and we changed the systems for years because it used to be free for all here.
I remember the days in Anclorans and all that.
people used to give out about the you know what I mean. It was like Beirut at times, you know what I mean, and rightly so, I suppose. But you know, we tied it up, trimmed it up, and it's a very professional outfit now. You know what I mean, and that's the way it should be. You know what I mean. So
it's really family oriented as well. I've noticed over the last couple of years, like it's a lot of families coming to it. You know, and it really kind of it's such a kind of you know, with the whole thing of safety and security and a whole lot, there was a huge Garda presence last year, you know, because they had a stand at the history of the Gardaí and the whole lot and everything as well. But it wasn't just that. I think I just noticed so many families last year. You know, there was so many people that came for the day, you know, which is great to see. Yeah,
like I mean, and people, look, it doesn't matter the weather, what's in Tubbercurry. Now, last year was exceptions. It was 26, 27 degrees. The first year in the history we had to cover the animals in the square because of the sun.
The rain,
You know, no, not the rain. It could be the rain this year, but I know it won't. We were looking at the forecast as promised.
It's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking.
The child prags are out.
Yeah. We won't need the 27 degrees sunscreen on the animals or anything. But look, people come. They come prepared to Tubbercurry. They come early. They get their parking. We have plenty of parking around the town. They get in early, and it's the only fair or a festival of its kind that you can actually come into town, put your hand in your pockets, walk up and down the street, spend the whole day. You do not have to put your hand in your pocket to spend money.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's a free event.
Yeah.
It costs us a lot of money to put it on, but it's a free event to them. So it's unique in that sort of way because you get so much bang for nothing has to, you know. Now, we hope you spend money when you come.
Yes,
the businesses need it, the traders need it, but you don't have to if you don't want.
Exactly.
You know,
it's not like a usual thing where you're spending money to come in and you know, and I think that encourages people as well. I think that's the big thing about it is it's an experience.
It is.
It's not kind of like a concert or anything like that. It's an experience, you know.
Absolutely.
Which is great to see. So I suppose, Tony, over to you in regards to, I suppose the festival's grown over the past few years with lots of new events, but let's run through kind of what's happening this year. So when does it start? It starts on the Saturday with what?
Correct. Yeah, it kicks off Saturday morning in our Connery Farmers Market out the Sligo Road. So they're running a heritage and craft themed morning, you know, for their craft morning. But like for me personally, like it's a very leisurely, relaxed. You know,
yeah, it's a nice morning, kind of. You finally get to sit down for a cup of tea. It's probably the only chance you get to have a cup of tea all week because it's so busy.
Kind of regroup the thoughts and get ready to execute, you know, for the next few days ahead, like, you know. But yeah, you know, like it's looking forward to that, you know, getting started, and then like I say, we know we're rolling from there.
Yeah.
Then for the Saturday afternoon, then we have the Teddy Bears picnic and the Forest Walk.
Yeah, which is a family event. It's a very popular event. Like there's a lot of people, so like it is one of the busiest events kind of on the Saturday to kind of go to. So it's down in the Forest Walk itself.
It's on the Forest Walk, yeah, correct. And like I said, like it has grown and grown and grown. Like last year was just, you know, like exceeded the volume of kids that came out and turned out there last year. Like we definitely weren't expecting that the amount of kids to turn out. But like I say, it's a safe, family orientated environment. Like you couldn't get better, and like it just there's lots to see and do in there. Just take your time, walk through. Take it all in. Kids love to run around as well, and it's a lovely, safe environment. It's essentially their fair day. That they're not looking in a big crowd. They're looking at bums for the day.
And there's nothing for sale or anything. It's all kind of an experience in the whole lot as well, which is good. Yeah, so parents like that.
Then it goes on to the duck race.
Yes. And this infamous duck race now. We say they used to have the ducks kind of going down the river now, but there's live ducks. There's a duck sanctuary, isn't there, in the down the forest walk?
They're referees now.
The referees now. Very good. And that's something that everybody does look forward to, because I know, like we say, the ducks have been on sale all week and the whole lot, and there's quite I think I was talking to your son this morning, like it's about 6-7 sheets already. He's on a mission. He's on a mission, so he's doing well. Yeah. He's doing very well.
He's about to quack up.
It's very good. So then on Saturday night, then what's happening?
So Saturday night kicks off is a new part of the fair this year. It's called Street Fest. So we've music on the square. We have a stage going across the road at the credit union facing into the town, and we have Darren McDonough. He's warming up for the first hour or so, and then we have locals, the Chaff Tones, and they're going on a rock gig for 2 or 3 hours or whatever. So
excellent.
Yeah, we're looking forward.
So like that's a good kind of opportunity for people to come in and meet up with people and the whole lot, and have a bit of crack, and have the babysitters, have the kids at home and the whole lot, and come in and enjoy kind of a few hours of good entertainment.
Yeah, it's, to be fair, going by the rehearsal videos that they've done the last few days, they're definitely putting in the effort. Like even like Dara's very, very good. Like but he's starting out and the Chaftons, they're fairly well known locally and outside of Tubbercurry as well. So exactly. Looking forward to it.
Very good, very good. And then on Sunday morning we have what's happening Sunday morning.
So Sunday morning we have Square Sundays, which is taking place in the back of Sligo Haulage Yard on the Ballinlar Road. Yeah.
So Square Sundays, to explain to people, that's your kind of, so your pet project in regards to it's basically all these kind of collectible cars. I suppose the easy way I can describe it, like cars that half of us wish that we had and the whole lot, and we love to see. And it originated in the square and stuff, but it's kind of outgrown the square a little bit in regards to it's been up at the library, and this year, because it's gotten so big, we're basically it's moving to where?
It's moving to the back of Sligo Haulage, the distribution yard on the Ballinlar Road.
Yeah, so it's just down the Ballinlar Road into the left and in there. Yeah,
across from Basta, the old Basta factory.
Okay. So people will know. I'm sure there'll be signs and everything as well. So that's fantastic. And literally, you were saying there's going to be a couple of special cars kind of going to be on display in the whole. So fingers crossed it'll be.
We have a couple. There's a few performance cars coming down, and there's a few supercars coming as well. So, fingers crossed.
Any electric cars or anything, or any nice kind of
We don't know what they are.
They're not allowed. That's it. They're out.
Are they remote control ones?
Well, they're you can just control the remote controller. Like little radio control cars. We could have a few of those too. So that's happening on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Is it?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Sorry, 9 a.m. Yep. And then basically we have a mass for kind of the deceased members of we'll say the fair day and the whole lot. So that's happening. Your normal Sunday
11:30 on Sunday morning. Sunday morning mass. But it's important to remember them, because they put a lot of grind in.
Absolutely,
to get us to where we are. And as Paul said earlier, we're just carrying the baton on for the next.
Yeah, and it's nice to recognise, because there has been a few that passed away in the last year or two. So it's nice for them to be recognised as well, which is quite good. And then basically you have the family sports day. So it's basically happening up in the GA grounds, Kilcoyne Park. So what time is that happening at?
That's going to be from 5. From 5:30.
From 5:30.
Yeah,
good. Okay.
5:30. Yeah,
very good.
A very popular day last year. It was a great bit of park last year. And again, the parents could sit down and chill out, have a chat. There's plenty of food. This year they're going. There's teas, coffees, there's treats there. It'll be. Again,
and they have the new pitch and everything there and the whole lot. So
I think it's actually taking place on the new pitch there.
Brilliant.
So,
very good, very good. I'll only have to hop the wall. I'm just across the wall, so I'm good. Just to get the ladder sorted, And then basically, what's happening that night?
So Sunday night then is part 2 of the Street Fest of music, and so we'll have Oisin McCann, another local young lad. He's warming up for an 80s band, a tribute band called Spring Break.
Very good.
Proven very popular on anywhere this last couple of years they've been. They're
I think
very,
I've
very
seen them. I know I've heard of them before, and they're extremely good.
They're very good.
And it's kind of an 80s vibe.
Very cheesy.
Yeah, but that's the best of. That's what that's the great thing about it is it's great crack. And
the promotional videos that are online there of a guy with long hair and a purposely placed fan blowing back at him with the guitar. Screams cheese.
Yeah, but that's what we love. We like you see what's happening at the moment. Look at Barbies in the cinema at the moment and all that. Sure, it's all gone back to the 80s.
And I think there'll be a lot of attics, old bags of clothes raided for for Sunday night.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of fancy dress going on the whole lot.
Yeah, this man come dressed as ABBA.
ABBA? Well, how bad?
I'd say so.
I'll have to grow the hair, get a bit of Bon Jovi going or something, or
Ginger ABBA.
Yeah. So that will be quite good. That'll be a good crack, and I think a lot of people are really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So then on the Bank Holiday Monday, what's happening first?
So Bank Holiday Monday kicks off nice and late at 4 p.m.
So we've time to recover the whole lot from the spring break and everything the night before. That sounds good.
Yeah, just the spring break will be the issue. Yeah.
And the Headers Cup, and this is quite a popular event. Like there was, there was a penalty shootout you were saying from last year and the whole lot.
Yeah.
It got quite
down to the wire. Joey and Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah, so
the two teams, but like I say, it was
And are they back again this year? Are they?
They're coming back to defend. Yeah,
but we have a few competitors this year. So there's you were saying there's a few more teams this year.
Yeah, there's 10 teams in total. So yeah, and like I said, there's certain criteria you have to meet. Paul is partaking in this as well.
Oh, is he?
We have a team we put in from the fair. It's called the Misfits.
The Misfits.
Yeah, and the criteria was last year that you had a girl on the pitch
on every team,
at all time.
Yeah.
Pitch. And one of the members had to be over 40. But every one of us was over 40 apart from the girls. So no, we didn't do too bad. We held our own, but
yeah. And there's a few kind of ladies now that are well able to play, against the men, we'll say, in the soccer.
Absolutely, yeah.
So there's a good bit of competition,
yeah.
Very good. And then running it's running around the same time as well is the treasure hunt, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, it's running at the same time and running from the same venue. So there's this year we've launched the Porrick Neri Memorial Treasure Hunt.
Yeah. Porrick will be a former committee member, and would he have been a chairman as well?
He was the chair.
Previous chair back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it was kind of something I think that he started at the time.
The treasure hunt was his.
Treasure hunt was his idea and all that.
Yeah. So we're going to try and keep it going, and like I said, we thank John Gillespie to come on board to kind of take care of some of the prizes for it too.
Oh, brilliant. Very good. And that's on at 4 o'clock as well.
That's 4 p.m. Yeah.
Very good. And then on Tuesday, we have the FRC Family Fun Afternoon.
Yeah, correct.
So that's happening, I presume, at the Family FRC. So that's from 2 to 4 p.m, isn't it?
Yeah, the Family Resort Centre, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be quite good as well. And again, another family event, which is great to see, And then, of course, we have the big day itself. So the Old Fair Day Festival, it's happening on the Wednesday. So what time are we basically starting at on the Wednesday? Well, you're starting at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd say, or 4 o'clock in the morning, getting ready and all that.
About that, yeah.
Or you probably just work through the night before. Yeah. So when should the public start to arrive? Or
well, the public look at any time from 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Most of the traders are set up, and the town is busy. We start loading the town at 7 o'clock, so crafters and everything. So they'll be properly set up by breakfast time. So everyone goes for a bit of breakfast, 9:30, 10 o'clock. From 10 o'clock on, town is
busy.
Is buzzing.
Which is fantastic.
So the earlier you can come in, the better, because it's quieter. You might be able to get around the town. Last year we had up on 20,000 people in the town, which is great. Now the town can hold it.
Yeah.
There's no problem there. It's just that it might be a bit easier to get around early in the day if you want to see all the crafts in there. You know what I mean? So the earlier you come in, the better, and stay as late as you want. Yeah.
What's kind of the busiest time, I suppose? Like we said, the busiest time would be around the lunchtime, or would it be kind of later, 3 o'clock? Or when is who's playing on stage this year?
Ernie.
Declan Ernie, that's it. Yes. So when's he on stage?
Stop the World is on
Stop the World.
3, half 3.
3, half 3, okay. And that generally tends to be around the busiest time, isn't it?
That's when, people are set up. You'll have the staunch supporters will be up the front with their spot.
Yeah, held in the whole lot.
Don't come near me. Yeah. This is mine.
Yeah, and so you have the dancers as well in the whole lot as well.
Yeah, they'll be all there. So so the busy time is 3 o'clock when you know what I mean. So
Yeah. Okay, so I suppose let's talk about the main day itself. So I suppose the first thing we need to kind of sort out is in regards to parking, because there's a lot of people that travel to the Old Fair Day Festival, they travel a distance, the whole lot, and the main thoroughfare in the squares is actually closed off because of the fair itself. So we say let's talk about where people can park and where it's safe to park and the whole lot. So let's start from the Sligo side. So when you're coming from the Sligo direction, you have let's start with, I suppose, the J pitch with the first one. And there's plenty of parking there.
Yeah, there's plenty of parking at the GA pitch, and
then you have the college, isn't it?
The college, North College, a bit further down, and further down the town, then on the back road, you have K&B's Supplies, and then we have Keogh's Field.
Yeah, so Keogh's Field, tell us where Keogh's Field is. So when you come down...
So if you're coming in the easiest way, even from Sligo, it's easy to get to. If you're coming in from the Charlestown or Ballina, so it's the Charlestown, Ballina junction.
Yeah.
If you go left down the town, there'll be a filter lane allowing you down the town for parking only.
Yeah.
Down as far as the barracks. So basically it's a field across from the Garda Barracks in Tubbercurry. Everyone will know.
Yeah, so it's
a massive field, and we try and fill that. And it's the closest
to the fair.
To the fair.
Yeah.
Now parking for the day in all car parks, because it's manned, we have to contribute something back into
exactly. Because it's a safety thing as well. Like there has to be.
Yeah, exactly. So they're fully manned all day. So it's only €3 to park your car.
Nothing.
For in all fairness, you know what I mean. So we just like to tell people to be respectful for people's houses and housing estates. They have to live here, not to be parking illegally.
Yeah,
really.
because there's been problems in the past of people blocking people's driveways and a whole lot, and it just creates so much trouble on the day in regards to trying to get people to move the cars and stuff like that. It's just impossible. So there is kind of going to be a lot of kind of, we say, parking prohibited. That there'll be what you call the cones and stuff like that on places where people won't park. So I think people need to be diligent enough with that they
do. And please heed the stewards.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the stewards, most of our stewards, majority of our stewards are here. They're all volunteers.
Yeah.
So they're here doing a job for us, and please bit of respect for them, and they will in turn show you where to go. They'll give you the best advice possible. Yeah. So please just heed the
and it helps the traffic flow as well. So like if people, instead of people trying to find this parking spot and they're stopping traffic and the whole lot, it's more important just look, there's parking designated areas. Yep. Please stick to them, So as well from there, like we'll say, once you've parked your car and the whole lot, you walk into the town, you're meted with the trade stalls. I suppose you start kind of either side. You're going to be meeting the trade stalls, and there's loads of them. There's quite a lot there.
Yep.
And then when you come to the centre of the town into the square, you have kind of the heritage area, and you have the crafts and the whole lot, and that's kind of where everything is really happening. That's kind of the centrepiece of the day itself. Yep. So we're talking earlier on and saying like that. There's loads to see and do. There's loads. So take your time and enjoy it.
A nice way to start off there on the morning of the fair. It's kind of, because it's kind of a long project, is the guy that's carving, there's a chainsaw carver.
That's right. Is he up by, he used to be up by the bank. Is he still there or where the bank used to be, is it?
Yeah. It's the entrance into Galler House.
Galler House, yeah.
Yeah, just above the bank, that's where he is. He'll be starting early, so he'll have a couple of probably bits with him that he has already done.
Yeah.
He might have one or two, but it's a great display.
Some of the stuff he's done is fantastic.
Yeah. But in all fairness, the smells, the first thing that hits you is the smells. At that hour of the morning, they'll be cooking breakfast probably. If you hadn't had a breakfast, or there'll be smell of coffee and cakes and sweets and whatnot. So
we have a box tea maker back this year too.
Oh, very good.
Personal favourite.
Yeah. So it'll take you a long time actually even to get to the square if you're coming in from whatever approach roads so it takes a lot of walking around the town. The traders love Tubbercurry because, for the simple reason that if we have 20,000 people in Tubbercurry, 20,000 people have to walk by the front of their stall.
Exactly, yeah.
So you're not limited. If you've been in a big field and people say you have 40, 50,000 in the field, you might get 3,000 or 4,000 passing by you, but guaranteed everyone in that town, because they'll go up the length and breadth of it. We try and spread it out, have something at the end of each town, so all the businesses and the traders get equal footfall.
Yeah, which is good.
So you spread it out, and we have the town full now. We can't put anything more into the town. As simple as that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you know what I mean. So no, it's a hive of noise, activity, and fun, and music, and food, and crafts. So.
And then I suppose the highlight of the day for a lot of people would be the music. So the music, kind of, what time does the music kick off? We'll say it's on the centre stage, would it be?
It's on the stage, it kicks off from 12.
From 12 o'clock. So there'll be live music from 12 o'clock.
Live music from 12 on, yeah.
And then, of course, the star of the show, I suppose, about, what time will he be on about?
3.
3?
Like after, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the warm-up, how long the warm-up takes.
How long, and that's, of course, Declan Ernie, and he's quite a loyal fan base as well, doesn't he? He does bring them.
Declan is, he's very good to deal with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We've over the years, we've had some fantastic musicians over the years, practically everybody you can think of on the Irish music scene, we've had them
Yeah.
at one stage or another, and some of them 2 times and 3 times over the years.
That's
You know
right.
what I
So
mean? Years.
I was watching on YouTube, like there's this videos of Big Tom playing in Tubbercurry and stuff like that. Like it's
The Big Tom, you had Zell, Mick Flavin was here.
Flavin, yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's right.
Just Lisa McHugh, all down through the years.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, depends on who's the big name at the time.
Exactly.
You know what I
A
mean?
lot of country stars and all that as well.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah. No, it's a hive of activity and fun.
Very good. And I suppose like the one thing we have to mention is like it is volunteer led. Like you're all volunteers. Like there's nobody there's no big CEO. There's no big, like I'm sure Tony, as chairman, you're not getting the big bucks out of this and all. It's volunteer. Like, and it's great to see. It's like the GA, like it's something that there's a bit of passion behind as well, which is fantastic. But it is something that, it's volunteer led. So do you find, is it getting harder to find people to help out, or what do you think holds them back, or like is it something that we need to encourage a bit more, or what do you think?
I think the whole volunteer side needs to be kind of nurtured a bit more back into we'll say after its 2-year break.
Yeah,
that I think the kind of the level of commitment that people were doing prior to the break was like that. It has kind of, I suppose, people are into a routine of their own time now.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking it easy, and like I suppose, like listen, we all kind of appreciate downtime, but it's nice to get back into it, and it gets people out and about. Even like from we say from our own kids, like the number of kids that are involved in the festival, like over the years, and they've all grown up. Like Paul's kids are heavily involved now this year. Like there's like past chair kids. They're there's loads of them around. Like, and it's great to see them coming up through it and with an interest.
Yeah.
And like I suppose that's probably the best way of nurturing it from grassroots. Keeping a young generation coming behind you.
Definitely, and I think they like to be involved. They've seen it in the past. They've seen, like, they've grown up with it, and they kind of see, like, I want to be part of this. I want to kind of put my little bit into it as well. Are you still looking for volunteers, or have you enough volunteers for this year? Or
we're always looking for volunteers.
Never have enough volunteers.
No.
Which is good. And like there's a lot of work that goes on, and you do need kind of the help on the day in regards to volunteers and all that. How can people help? How can they kind of get in touch to volunteer, I suppose?
Well, if you want it, like the fair phone, there's a fair phone number there. It's on the website there, or go to info@oldfairday.ie.
Yeah.
There's email addresses, social media. Everyone's on social media. If you
exactly.
Direct message on the Facebook page or Instagram, we'll reply back after.
Brilliant, very good.
But like we're always grateful. I mean, always, forever grateful to the volunteers, because like as you said, it's everything. The whole fair is run on volunteers, and everyone giving up their time to
Yeah, exactly.
Where it is.
And I suppose we'll say the day itself, like I was struggling to get you guys in here, because like you're so busy and there's so much kind of going on even beforehand. Like you've started already kind of this week on marking out the square and stuff like that, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into it as well. So like I have to say, from all of us and the public and all, thanks a million for all your effort that you've put in over the years and all. It has been truly appreciated by everybody in the town, so thank you very much from our regards. I suppose that's kind of we say we can't leave it, I suppose, from you've got the volunteer side, but you also have people who it costs a lot of money to do this, and there's a lot of fundraising that goes on a lot, but there is sponsors as well that need to be recognised in regards. Like, is there kind of any kind of, we say, do you want to kind of give sponsors a shout out, and who'll be kind of the principal sponsors in the event itself?
Well, this year, like, we have 7 main sponsors. Thankfully, they've some have come back on board, and we've got some new. But like this year, like we have the Tubbercurry Credit Union, Certis Super Value, Homeland, McSorley's Centra, Murphy's Hotel, Sligo Haulage and Distribution, and Lollipop Lane. And we also have our media partner who's been on, for the last couple of years, is Ocean FM. So without them,
I think they're back this year. They have. I saw it on social media. They have the recovery tour coming on the day. So Joe and I can't think of the second name. Joe, he's the chef, and he used to be chef he still is the chef in Radisson.
Yeah.
So it's great to see them coming as well and all that stuff.
A bit of banter with them, I'm sure, on the day.
Exactly. And there's a lot of kind of other sponsors that help on the day and the whole lot. So it's great to look that everybody's able to kind of pitch in a little bit to it, because it does help and it does go the right way, if you know what I mean.
Again, we're very grateful to the local businesses, because. Yeah. Year on year, they all help us out throughout the year. To get to I suppose it's the level of fun that we need to put on this kick. So
yeah, exactly.
I suppose over the years, from the beginnings, it didn't take a lot to run the fair. Once you had your volunteers in place, and it was all solely relying on the local businesses. That was the only income because there was no other way of generating it. So a big shout out has to go for, you know what I mean, before we got main sponsors on, you know what I mean, because of the festival and the costs outgrew it. So the local businesses have been phenomenal throughout the years. There's people that donate to the fair and they close for the day. So they have absolutely no gain from it.
Yeah.
Other businesses, they're open, they're busy and whatnot. But a majority of people that contribute to the fair don't even open their doors on the day.
Yeah. So
a big shout out to them, because, you know what I mean, it just shows you we must be doing something right if they're willing to put their hand in their pocket for something that they don't gain. They, I suppose, are looking down, it's putting Tubbercurry on their map. It mightn't pay dividend on the day, but down the road it does.
It does, yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah, no, it's very good. I suppose we'll have to go to, in regards to, where can people find out? So the program is out there. So the program is in all the shops and everything. I've seen it kind of around the town, the whole lot. But for those that are travelling to it, we'll say, where can they find out more about Tubbercurry Old Fair Day? So there's a website, which is
Old Fair Day,
and then there's Facebook, and there's social media as well. There's a big social media presence as well, which is great to see. You mentioned that there's a festival phone number as well, and again, they can get that off the website.
You can, yeah.
Which is good, yeah. Very good.
And we have an office in town as well.
So, so the office is, where's the office this year?
The office is between Mickey Max and the Bookies.
Anyways, perfect. Okay. It's one of those. Very good. Listen, that's basic, guys. Look, I won't hold you anymore. Thanks a million for coming in. We'll get this out as soon as possible, because I want people to know about it before the festival kicks off, which is literally this weekend. So thanks a million for coming in. I hope you'll get some sleep over the next couple of days. If not this week, you'll probably need a holiday after by the time it's finished.
And the weather's looking good. Yeah,
it's promising to be kind of quite a nice week next week.
Dry will do.
Yeah, exactly. You know? That's all you want. You don't want the rain. That's all.
No,
you know?
Dry will do.
But if like I don't think there's ever been a stand with Brawleys anyway. So we're always expecting good weather.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
My second year as chair, 2011, we were above in St. Bridget's Hall after phenomenal 25th anniversary the year before, and the weather was cracking, so we had a great 25th anniversary, and it says roll on next year. 2011 came on, and from morning, wind and rain. There's some pictures up on the website.
I saw that, yes. I saw that on social media. I saw it on
the
YouTube.
Phone box, all the lads gathered in the phone box, and they were our volunteers, shoved in. The only man that made money that day was a fella who was selling wetsuits out at the clock, and he sold out. He was gone out of the town at 10 o'clock. He was done,
dusted, not left. Well, hopefully we'll get the good weather this year. Right? It's one of these things. Look, it's nothing we can do about it, and I do find. Look, we say it's well sheltered. We say in regards to, like, if there's a small, sometimes you get scattered showers, but like they don't last long, and there's great shelter around the place anyway as well. So.
Well, the pub would love a shower.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You need a break. You need to go into the pub for.
Drive them into the pub.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're probably looking for a couple of scattered showers. Just going to keep going. Yeah. Listen, guys, thanks again for coming in. I think we won't annoy you anymore. That's it for this week. I want to thank Tony and Paul for joining us today, and I'm hoping we have the good weather to match. So fingers crossed. So if everybody can put out their Child of Prague in the town or in the whole county of Sligo, that will help. Thank you very much. You can catch previous episodes on our YouTube channel. Just search for South Sligo Talks, and just make sure to like and subscribe to get updates on new episodes. If you have any requests or you'd like us to discuss anything, send us a message. But that is it for this week. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a million.
Thanks, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.